Shalum. Shalum and welcome. Welcome to the White Rose Family Channel. If you're tuning in for the first time, my name is Symmanayah, and these are the words I'm compelled to present before an awakening, set-apart nation. Yashar'al, commonly known by some as Israel or Yisrael. My brothers and sisters, end times are definitely here. Uncertainty is growing among the lands. Pandemics are enlarging, storms, whether you look at it as end time prophecy being fulfilled or global warming and climate change. Either way, my brothers and sisters, the signs point to the distinction of man as we know it. From a natural perspective, the word would be extinction of man. From a spiritual perspective, and to those who are set apart and able to discern, it will conclude the existence of these earthen vessels as we know it that will go back to the earth, and we will be transformed as the scriptures describe. This series, the Final Exodus Countdown 2023, is a reflection of things I am compelled to present before Yashar'al, for I believe the year known as 2023, according to the Gregorian calendar, in the month of December, the day, the 21st. By December 21st, 2023, I believe this final Exodus, our 400 years captivity, will be made and magnified, made known to man and magnified with confirmation and proof. Before I go any further into this series, the Final Exodus Countdown 2023, Yashar'al, I want you to know, and listeners, I want you to know, the views expressed, they do not reflect the views of the owners, managers, shareholders, and or sponsors. With that said, let's get into this installment, the Final Exodus, a series of messages for the reality of confirming and acting upon the things ordered by the Almighty Father, representing the Final Exodus and more. In this installment, I want you to know that I am compelled to believe that Yahudah is the scepter. And what I mean by that, Yahudah, the tribe of Yahudah, they will lead in this final Exodus. They will lead in this gathering from the four corners of the earth. We will see leaders from various other representative tribes, but ultimately the leaders, the final shepherds, will be of the tribe of Yahudah. Yahudah will indeed prove to lead this final Exodus. Come with me, my brothers, as I continue to make the case. I wanted to present what defining the scepter, what the scepter is. The natural dictionary says it's a staff or baton borne by a sovereign as an emblem of authority, royal or imperial authority, sovereignty, scepter. I will present the case, my brothers and sisters, that Yahudah, as the lead tribe, will represent the completion of holding the banner, the staff, the baton of Yahuah that will be in the hands of Yahushua Mashiach. I will present the case how I believe that Yahudah, as the lead, will present the bride before Yahushua Mashiach when he returns. And Yahudah is indeed the lead tribe. Come with me as I continue. Yashar'al, I want to read the following passage. Come with me to Genesis chapter 49, verse 8 through 12. Genesis chapter 49, verses 8 through 12. They read as follows. You, Yahudah, your brothers praise you. Your hand is on the neck of your enemies. Your father's children bow down before you. Yahudah is a lion's cub. From the prey you have gone up, my son. He bowed down, he crouched like a lion, and like a lion who does rouse him. And like a lion who does rouse him. The scepter shall not turn aside from Yahudah, nor an inscriber from between his feet, until Shiloh comes, and to him is the obedience of people. Look at that key word, obedience of peoples. Binding his donkey to the vine and his donkey's coat to the choice vine. He washed his garments in wine and washed his robes in the blood of grapes. His eyes are darker than wine, his teeth whiter than milk. Yashar'al, O Yashar'al. Let me continue. Yahudah is indeed the scepter, and I would explain what the granddaddy, Yashar'al, who was originally Yaakov, commonly known as Jacob. Jacob's name, or Yaakov's name, was changed to Yashar'al, which some will say Israel, depending on what translation you read. But I will present the case as I stated. Let's continue. From Yahudah to Yahusha and more, we will learn that Yahusha has indeed came from the lineage of the tribe of Yahudah. My brothers and sisters, end times are here. I mentioned earlier, uncertainty is here. Pandemic, storms, earthquakes in diverse places, volcanic activity, and much more. Wars and rumors of wars. There is no doubt by most that the world is coming to an end. For us, O Yashar'al, we're coming to an end of a plan only to transform into the beginning of a new life, transformed as the Almighty Father, Yahuah, has set forth. Yashar'al, Yashar'al, out of all that is going on, many fail to realize that this is Yahuah's plan, that the Most High Yahuah, the Almighty Father, it is his plan, and his plan will indeed be successful. Leadership, structuring of millions of people that will come together, referencing Revelation 7:9, a great multitude, Revelation 7 chapter, 144,000 in great multitude, consisting of both Hebrews and Gentiles, or Abraham and Goyim. Goyim and Gentile just mean other nations. There are those from other nations, other tribes and tongues, who are grafted together with Yashar'al as one. Yes, the 144,000, the 12,000 from each of the 12 tribes of Yashar'al will be acknowledged. And once they fulfill what is written, all that is set apart will be under the banner of Yashar'al. Let me continue. My brothers and sisters, there are those who would argue, who gets the lead? Who chooses the placement of each set apart individual that is physically alive during the time of the final Exodus? It is the Almighty Father, and he will use his chosen leaders, his chosen servants. Let me read the following to you, Yashar'al. Come with me to Matthew 1, verse 2. Abraham brought forth Yitzhak, and Yitzhak brought forth Yaakov, and Yaakov brought forth Yahudah and his brothers. Notice how it says, and Yaakov brought forth Yahudah and his brothers. Here we see it demonstrated that Yahuah is the scepter, is the lead tribe, although Yahudah is not the oldest of Yaakov's children. Matthew 1:17, come down to the 17th verse. It says, so all the generations from Abraham to David were 14 generations, and from David into the exile of Babel were 14 generations, and from the exile of Babel until the Messiah were 14 generations. From Yahudah to Yahusha, who is it that will lift up Yahusha? And I will say to you, my brothers and sisters, Yashar'al, led by the tribe of Yahudah, lifting up Yahushua Mashiach, we will witness the concluding chapter of this plan before the physical return of Yahushua Mashiach. And then when he returns, we will witness transformation like never before imagined. Yahudah, the scepter. Come with me as I read here. I want to read, I think I read this. Bear with me for a second, my brothers and sisters. Well, let me read it again if I didn't. Regarding Yahudah. Your brother prayed you. Okay, I think I started reading it. Crouch down like a lion. The scepter shall not turn aside from Yahudah, nor the inscriber from between his feet until Shiloh comes. Yep, I read this. Senior moment. Bind his dunk. His eyes are darker than wine. Yes, I read that. Genesis 49th chapter, verses 8 through 12. Let me continue on, my brothers and sisters. I want you to come with me and discern the life in these words. In John 6:44, no one is able to come to me unless the Father who sent me draws him, and I shall raise him up in the last day. Who among us is able to confirm and discern that the Father has drawn them to Yahushua Mashiach? Who among us will be able to discern that leaders of Yahudah will represent those confirming and identifying individuals drawn by Yahuah to Yahushua Mashiach? John 12:32-35. Come with me, my brothers and sisters. Consider the life in these words. And I, if I am lifted up from the earth, shall draw all men unto myself. Then he said, signifying by what death he was to die. The crowd answered him, we have heard out of the Torah that the Messiah remains forever. How do you say the son of Adam has to be lifted up? Who is the son of Adam? And Yahushua therefore said to them, yet a little while the light is with you. Walk while you have the light, lest darkness overtake you. And he who walks in darkness does not know where he is going. Yahushua being lifted up, if he's lifted up, and I say to you, O Yashar'al, we lift him up by our obedience to set apartness, by our obedience to his living word, by our obedience to Abba Yahuah's spirit, sent in Yahushua's name. We lift him up. We, as all the set apart children of Yahuah, led by Yahudah, time will prove that Yahudah is the scepter, is the lead tribe, my brothers and sisters. Have you ever seen a parade or procession where someone leads carrying a banner and there are others behind? So will it be with Yashar'al. Yahudah will carry the banner, and then Yashar'al being brought together in this final exodus. The leaders of Yahudah will present all the set apart ones under the banner of Yashar'al and present the bride to Yahushua Mashiach in these final days. My brothers and sisters, we say we believe the scriptures. We say we believe what is written. It's time to discern, believe, and never forget that there are details, there are processes that are needed to be accomplished, O Yashar'al. Come with me as I read the following. I've read it before, but the need to read it again is necessary. It's pressed upon me to read this particular passage. Isaiah 43:5, 6, and 7 says, do not fear, for I am with you. I shall bring your seed from the east, gather you from the west, and gather you from the west. I shall say to the north, give them up, and to the south, do not keep them back. Bring my sons from afar, and my daughters from the ends of the earth. All those who are called by my name, who I have created, formed, even made for my esteem. Many will tell you, and there are many who are presenting a false narrative, a false teaching, saying all of set apart Yashar'al will be gathered. And they take the text, unbeknownst to discerning the life, they take the text and say all of us are going to be gathered before the physical return of Yahushua Mashiach. Now those who do not believe in the Mashiach probably just say we all will be gathered at some point. Who knows what they think in detail. But for you, O Yashar'al, these words are to you, drawn by the Almighty Father to Yahushua Mashiach. Notice that he said that he's created for his esteem. There will be martyrs for Yahusha's name. There will be those that will die before the physical return is fulfilled. Let us face the realities and know that there's work to be done between now and our final day. Yashar'al, O Yashar'al. Believe it or not, in the midst of all that is happening, things will be done decently and in order. We will soon witness the Almighty Father refine us like we never imagined. He will remove those who are disobedient and rebellious, caught up in their own ego, their own ways. He will remove. He will remove us from the obstacles and the strongholds. There will be times we will be strengthened with power and demonstrate power to purge the disobedient ones from among us. Pray and watch. There's much work to be done. Let me continue. Come with me to 1 Corinthians chapter 14, 37 through 40. 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 37 through 40 reads, if anyone thinks himself to be a prophet or spiritual, let him acknowledge what I write to you, that they are a command of the master. And if anyone is ignorant, let him be ignorant. So then, brothers, earnestly seek to prophesy and do not forbid speaking in tongues. Let all be done decently and in order. Let me read that one again. Let all be done decently and in order. Do you honestly believe we can testify of the plan of the Almighty Father? If there's confusion and division among us, disrupt this division that is not ordered by the Almighty Father. You see, the refining hand, the power and might of the Almighty Father will work in us. Through the obedient, instructions will come. Through the leadership of Yahudah, the gathering will come to take a shape that could resemble the structure of Ezekiel's wheels. And I spent time explaining that, my brothers and sisters. Structure as Yashar'al come together for their final exodus. Know when to purge and come away, my brothers and sisters. Consider these words in Matthew chapter 10, verse 35 and 36. It reads, for I have come to bring division. A man against his father, a daughter against her mother, a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's enemy are those of his own household. This is a division ordered by the Almighty Father, spoken by his word, Yahusha. Matthew 12:25, and Yahushua knew their thoughts and said to them, every reign divided against itself is laid waste, and every house divided against itself shall not stand. Be mindful of these words. There will be set apart structure and leadership, and the Almighty Father has chosen those who will fulfill the structure, the leadership that he has outlined for these final days. Hear, O set apart Yashar'al. It's time to recognize there will be a leading, set-apart nation among the 12 tribes. Discern and watch, my brothers and sisters. Structure will come. But I want you to know also, my brothers and sisters, we must be mindful of these words. Dealing with set apart unity. Romans 12:3 say, for I say through the favor which has been given to me, to everyone who is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he should think, but to think soberly as the Almighty One has given to each a measure of belief. That was Romans 12:3. Now come with me to 1 Corinthians 12:20 through 25. It reads, and now there are indeed many members, but one body. And the eye is unable to say to the hand, I have no need of you. Or again, the head, the feet, I have no need of you. But much rather, those members of the body which are thought to be weaker are necessary. And to those of the body which we think to be less respected, these we present greater respect. And our unseemly members have greater seemliness. whereas our seemly members have no need. But the Almighty One blended together the body, having given greater respect to that member which lacks it. And there should be no division in the body, but that the members should have the same concern for one another. My brothers and sisters, believe it or not, there are many outside the tribe of Yahudah. There are some brothers who think that we were weak because we became enslaved. They think that much of Yahudah, and I'm not saying all Yahudah went to North America or South America or Central America, but I am saying there are those who think we were weak. We're the weaker vessel because we allowed ourselves to be entangled in slavery, notwithstanding what the scriptures had said regarding being scattered from the four corners of the earth. They look at us as the weaker among the 12 tribes. But I say to you, O Yashar'al, Yahudah is the scepter. Yahudah will rise up, leading the 12 tribes. Yahudah will present the bride before Yahusha's physical return, upon Yahusha's physical return. Let me continue, O Yashar'al. The 12 tribes will be recognized. Come with me to Revelation 7th chapter, verse 4 through 8. It reads, and I heard the number of those who were sealed, 144,000. Sealed out of all the tribes of the children of Yashar'al. Of the tribe of Yahudah, 12,000 were sealed. Of the tribe of Reuben, 12,000 were sealed. Of the tribe of Gad, 12,000 were sealed. Of the tribe of Asher, 12,000 were sealed. Of the tribe of Naphtali, 12,000 were sealed. Of the tribe of Manasseh, 12,000 were sealed. Of the tribe of Shimon, 12,000 were sealed. Of the tribe of Levi, 12,000 were sealed. Of the tribe of Issachar, 12,000 were sealed. Of the tribe of Zebulun, 12,000 were sealed. Of the tribe of Yosef, 12,000 were sealed. Of the tribe of Benjamin, 12,000 were sealed. My brothers and sisters, Dan is not mentioned because Dan went off to idol worship. And there are some camps and fellowships that still post Dan among the 12 tribes, but we see that the scriptures, that by the orders of the Almighty Father, the teachings, the acknowledgement, is for us to acknowledge 11 sons of Yashar'al and a grandson. You see, Manasseh was a grandson, was Joseph, one of Joseph's sons. And he took the place as the heir representing the 12 tribes, my brothers and sisters. Let me read. The 12 tribes will ultimately take on one banner. I want you to read the rest of that chapter because so many people think that it was just 144,000 sealed. I submit to you it was the 144,000 in the great multitude mentioned in the 9th verse and the 14th verse of the 7th chapter of Revelation. Come with me, my brothers, as I read once again this passage. And he shall raise a banner for the nations and gather the outcasts of Yashar'al and assemble the dispersed of Yahudah from the four corners of the earth. There will be unity of a set apart nation. That part is not in the scripture. I just wrote that. But from the four corners of the earth, there will be a gathering. Let me continue. My brothers and sisters, it's time for us to prepare to discern details and act. Leadership among Yahudah. Leadership among Yashar'al. There are small groups with pockets of leaders in those small groups. They will come together into larger groups and much larger groups as we find ourselves forging our gathering. For the Western Hemisphere, I've said on multiple occasions, and I still am convinced, that the Commonwealth of Virginia, the state of Virginia, is the exit point for the Western Hemisphere, for Yashar'al, and Yahudah will lead. Yahudah will prove to carry the scepter, prove to be the scepter, meaning the leader, representing the authority of the Almighty Father in Yahusha's name. We must prepare, my brothers and sisters, because forced migrations will bring the obedient ones together. Some of us have moved to this state, the state of Virginia, the Commonwealth of Virginia already. Some are preparing to move. Some are en route. And some will find themselves forced to move. Individuals chosen, and I'm speaking of the Western Hemisphere, for the other geographical locations, leadership will arise, leading individuals in those geographic nations to the promised land. And we will center around the true Mount Sinai, currently known as Jabal al-Al, situated in the northwest quadrant of Saudi Arabia. We will assemble around that set-apart mountain, and make no mistake, my brothers and sisters, answers, proof of freedom from strongholds will emerge. Yashar'al, remember, we must examine all things. Consider Philippians 1:9 through 11. Philippians 1:9 through 11 says, "In this I pray that your love might extend more and more in knowledge and all discernment, for you to examine the matters that differ, in order to be sincere, not stumbling until the day of Messiah, being filled with the fruit of righteousness through Yahushua Messiah, to the esteem and praise of the Almighty One." Make your choice, O Yashar'al. Make your choice, and never forget. Proverbs 14:26 say, "In the fear of Yahuah is strong trust, and his children have a place of refuge." As destruction comes, O Yashar'al, as forced movement come, I devoted an entire series to the closing scroll. I invite you to strongly consider listening to it. For we are a stiff-necked people. We are stubborn in many ways. There are those who will be forced to gather from the four corners of the earth, directed. You see, the plan of the Most High Father, Abba Yahuah, is not a maybe or a might or if. It will come to be. And there will be those who will be left behind, led astray. There will be those who will face physical death before such actions come to be. We will discover that as forced movement ramp up, the need to discern and obey will be critical. We will grow to recognize the voice of the Spirit of Abba Yahuah sent in Yahusha's name like never before imagined, O Yashar'al. Yashar'al, Yashar'al, believe it or not, there are multiple examples of the formation. From a body with many members being one, to being example of a vine or a tree, to the example of a wheel. From the direction of the flow of water and blood, to the quickening of the spirit, there will be formation, there will be structure. Let me continue. Consider the wheels of Ezekiel, my brothers and sisters. And I look at the living creatures and saw, Ezekiel 1st chapter, verse 15 through 17. It says in Ezekiel 1st chapter, 15 through 17. "And I looked at the living creatures and saw a wheel on the earth beside each living creature with its four faces. The appearance of the wheels and their works was like the appearance of beryl, and all four had the same form. The appearance of their works was as it were a wheel in the middle of a wheel. And when they went in any one of four directions. They did not turn aside when they went." Yashar'al, Yashar'al, I submit this is describing the structure of Yashar'al in small groups that will come to bigger groups, and we will witness being as wheels within a wheel. Consider the life in Psalms 1:3. It says, "For he shall be as a tree planted by the rivers of water that yields its fruit in its season, and whose leaf does not wither, and whatever he does prosper." Giving us an example of being as a tree, my brothers and sisters. John 15:1, "I am the true vine, and my Father is the gardener." We learned that being a part of the body of Yashar'al is an example of a vine. Who is able to discern how a vine grows? Its makeup, its structure. Peter 4:17, 1 Peter 4:17, and I need to correct that, my brothers and sisters. 1 Peter 4:17 is the one that speaks of judgment beginning at the house of Yahuah first. You see, my brothers and sisters, the realities of what must come to be is pressing our spirit more than you may imagine. Many of us have things stirring within our spirit, and we don't understand the dynamics of this tabernacle. And therefore we struggle discerning what must be done and how to do it. But leadership will rise, my brothers and sisters. Leadership will rise for Yashar'al. And we will see that there will be structure. We will see Yahudah's part in this. Let me continue for Yashar'al. It's time to demonstrate wisdom, my brothers and sisters. Be wise to discern our place and positions now as we go forward. It would be wise to begin asking questions. I ask this often, and I'll ask it right now. Are you satisfied with your community head, your pastor, your leader, your bishop, your deacon, your spiritual influencer, your moray? Are they equipping you with what it takes to draw closer to the Almighty Father, to discern your place, your position, and what must be done now and in the coming days? If not, something is wrong with Yashar'al. Something is seriously wrong. Let me continue. You see, to each of us, there are responsibilities. Responsibilities will also lead to accountability. When judgment began at the house of Yahuah first, I submit to you, it begins with the current leadership. It also begins with the current leading tribe. So therefore, those among Yahudah may be among those suffering the most, to be refined, disciplined, to be brought into obedience. Nevertheless, let me read this, O Yashar'al, Luke 12:47 and 48. For it reads, "And that a servant who knew his master's desire and did not prepare, nor did according to his desire, shall be beaten with many stripes. But he who did not know, yet did what deserved flogging, shall be beaten with few." So the severity of the discipline will come much harder to not only leaders, but also the leading tribe, Yahudah. He goes on to say, "And everyone to whom much is given, from him much shall be demanded, and to whom much has been entrusted, from him much more shall be asked." Much has been given. To everyone too much has been given. It's been given to the tribe of Yahudah. Yahushua Mashiach. By the power and might, the Almighty Yahuah manifests this word through the tribe of Yahudah. The virgin birth, the sacrifice, the resurrection, the process of completing his plan for our redemption continues on. And we will recognize and come to understand why Yahudah is the scepter. It is the scepter. Let me continue. Yashar'al, O Yashar'al. Are you prepared to witness the rise of a set-apart nation, Yashar'al? Are you prepared to see how Yahudah will be identified and function as the scepter? Prepare your mind, body, and soul for the proof that is necessary to complete what is written will emerge clearly in the coming of days. And it will come out of the midst of all the uncertainty, out of the midst of all the confusion, out of the midst of all the distractions and destruction and death, of many deaths. Yahudah will rise and lead. Yashar'al, O Yashar'al, know this. The world will come to acknowledge the children of Yahuah. I believe soon there will be individuals led by the power and might of Yahuah that will demonstrate things that only Yahuah could do and say, that will make the world take notice to the coming together of the true children of Yashar'al. I believe this will soon come to be. There will be leadership present, my brothers and sisters. There will be leadership beyond what we see today. And what that means, reproof, discipline, refinement is coming before the leaders. A purging of leaders is coming. There will be dying of leaders, pastors, mores, teachers, community heads. Individuals will face physical death and destruction. Some will just be weakened in the flesh towards death until they repent. And some, the Spirit of Yahuah will quicken them in such a way they will rise up and lift up Yahusha instead of lifting up their own egos, their own prowess. They will rise up because they will recognize their error, their wickedness, and they will repent. There will be so many that will not. Watch, O Yashar'al, watch what's getting ready to unfold. Many people think that leadership is something to be proud of because you can dictate and give orders. Not so, my brothers and sisters. Leadership is serving others. A shepherd serves his flock. If you doubt this, did you not see Yahuah himself manifest his word and allow man to create an environment that was hostile to his word, allowed the sacrifice and resurrection? All that we may be restored into fellowship. So you see, leadership is about serving, my brothers and sisters. Serving set apartness, reflecting what is set apart, to bring about life, to bring about strength, to bring about the endorsement, the confirmation, and the realities of a set apart nation, to bring about the final exodus. My brothers and sisters, it's time to embrace the chosen scepter of Yahudah. The leaders, the leading tribe, the chosen scepter, Yahudah. Watch, for the leadership will come, and watch as other tribes will begin to connect with Yahudah from around the world and will follow the lead of the leadership of Yahudah. Yahudah is the scepter, my brothers and sisters, and proof will come. Let me come to a conclusion. Unity will come. Prepare to witness proof. Where do you think you will stand? Remember, before too quick to take a side, I want you to read Numbers 16th chapter. Visit Numbers 16th chapter, and you will see, my brothers and sisters, the result of a rebellious group against the leadership of Yahuah. Visit it and read it, my brothers and sisters. What will your words be in the coming days? I wish that I would have. I should have. I'm glad I did. Yashar'al, O Yashar'al, the time of proof will come and we will witness that Yahudah is the scepter. There will be those physically alive who will grow to embrace and witness the structure set by Abba Yahuah in Yahusha's name. Watch the leadership. Watch the structure. Watch those who perish and are removed. Watch those who are purged out of the hands of the wicked leaders. Watch those who know how to come away. Watch the fulfillment and understand the life in 1 Peter 4:17 through 4:19, which talks about judgment began at the house of Yahuah. My brothers and sisters, I can't stress enough how it's important to begin to discover your place in the plan and in the process. And there are leaders that will help you and assist you, that will recognize you. Not those who think that only them and the deacons or only them and the elders or only them in the leadership are the most important. If they don't know that the leadership should be serving and feeding the flock, strengthening the weakest one among them, something is wrong. And if you are a leader that's not recognizing the most weakest of your group, something is wrong. Prepare to witness correction. Prepare to discover your place. Maybe that leadership will be stripped from you, from us, if we fail to recognize what the Almighty Father is saying. Yashar'al, oh Yashar'al, there is much work to be done. The time is winding down. The realities of what must be done will become more and more clear to those who are able to discern. Stay tuned. There's so much work to be done. Prepare to witness unity, my brother, my sister, my family. And if you'd like to provide support, I want you to visit Watchman.net. There's a contact page form where you can fill, and I will respond. I will respond, my brothers and sisters. It will come from Symmanayah at gmail.com. And many of the recordings I've done over the years, I've used a different email. So I want you to be mindful that my email has changed. It's Symmanayah at gmail.com. Reach out, my brother. Vet me, examine me, ask questions. And it's not about me, but it is about worshiping and obeying the Almighty Father. I believe I am not alone. There will be others that will come together. There will be others that will begin to have the discussions, the talks, and produce the actions that are reflective of what is written in Scripture to fulfill end-time prophecies. If you'd like to support me as I prepare for the coming of Yashar'al in the Western Hemisphere and the Commonwealth of Virginia, you can submit cash if you like through the Cash App, White Rose Family, #, White Rose Family. Or as I said, email me or fill out the form and I will tell you other alternatives for providing financial support, but more than anything beyond financial support is the coming together. Information that the Almighty Father Yahuah has stirred and given to you to pass on or to use to connect so we can begin to connect and watch the formation of those who will participate in the final Exodus or who will support it or guard and protect those who will be gathered. On that note, Yashar'al, I salute your tolerance, your patience in listening to this message. I salute your pursuit of set of partners. I pray for your good health. I pray that we grow in wisdom, and that out of that wisdom we discern more and more how to act, how to govern ourselves as a set-apart awakening nation. Yashar'al, oh Yashar'al, make no mistake, the hand of the Almighty Father will become crystal clear among us. On that note, I say to you, you who are set apart, you who are drawn by the Almighty Father Yahuah to Yahushua Mashiach, you who are of the lead tribe Yahudah, you who are among the other 11 tribes, you who are grafted in to the body of Yashar'al, under the banner of Yashar'al, as one nation, I say to you, much shalom, my brother, my sister, my family.